Wow, this has been one interesting and educational day. First, we met Eric, who had all those used paint cans and old paint and paint lids on the side of his house, all that junk and trash, only to find out he takes it down into his basement and makes art out of it. And then, of course, we met Norman Tinker. And Norman, he bought the blacksmith welding shop. He welds. And he had all this discarded metal all over the front of his place. But then we find out that he takes that old discarded metal and he repurposes that into sculpture, another form of artwork. Now my rounds are all finished and I'm done for the day. But I've come to one house because I'd like to introduce you to one of our residents. He's been here for a while. His name is Wesley Reddick. And Wesley is a woodworker by trade. And he does the same thing with discarded wood as Norman does with metal and Eric does with paint. He takes the old discarded wood and he repurposes that into useful objects and into art. So I thought I'd stop by his house and introduce him to you. He's right over here. Hey, Wes, how you doing?
Oh, hello, Steve. I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Pretty good, thank you.
Good to see you.
I thought I'd have the folks come over here and meet you.
All right.
Folks, this is Wesley Reddick.
I don't see anybody.
They're right there. Never mind.
Okay.
What is this contraption you have here?
This is a mechanical sculpture that I'm calling a flickoscope.
A flickoscope.
Yeah.
And what'd you make it out of?
It's made from discarded materials like this old magnifying glass, a water pipe, some gears, and old wood that I've reshaped and repurposed into this thing that you crank and it projects an image through the magnifying glass onto this screen, and when you crank it, it makes whatever you're looking at flicker.
Well, show me. Point that way. Let's see.
Take a look at that.
Wow. That is pretty amazing. What else have you been working on?
Oh, well, I've been doing some woodworking with reclaimed lumber and old things. I've made a cabinet and a guitar and a sculpture.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you mind if the folks and I can go take a look?
Sure, but what folks are you talking
Those folks right there.
I don't see any folks, Steve.
Well, whatever. Okay, well, can we go see what you
Sure,
created?
come on in and I'll
All right,
show
great.
you. Come on in.
Thank you.
Watch your step here.
Hey. It's dark down here.
Yeah, it's a little dimmed in this corner of the barn.
So, what do you got for us?
Yeah, well, I have a few things here. One is this mirror. This mirror is made from wood and some other things. Old barn board came from this barn. It was on the outside of the barn, and I decided, well, that's a pretty good looking piece of wood. I think I want to make something out of it. So we used that plus an old saw blade that I found out in the dirt, and you can see that is almost completely rusted away. And then there's a piece of a chair. The back of a chair, actually, that the chair is gone, but that piece remained, and someone had thrown that out, and I found it and said, well, I think I'll put all these things together and come up with a mirror. So there it is.
So today's word of interest is going to be
Repurpose.
repurpose. R-E-P-U-R-P-O-S-E. Repurpose. Meaning to take an item and turn it into another item, a useful item that it wasn't originally intended for. Now in this case, he took a saw blade, which was intended for cutting, and he made it a decorative piece on this mirror. So he repurposed it. And what else you got there, Wes?
Well, I have this cabinet here. This cabinet is made from repurposed wood also. The original purpose of that wood was to sheathe the exterior of a barn, but I've used it to make a cabinet. This also has an old cabinet door that someone had thrown away, and I found and decided that's still a usable cabinet door. I think I'll use that. So I made a cabinet from it. A while ago I made a guitar.
Oh.
This guitar is made out of a chunk of a beam from a mill building, and the guitar neck was a real guitar neck that someone had thrown away because the guitar itself had been broken. But I found it and just realized that the neck can be removed. I removed the neck from that broken guitar and added it to this old beam, put some strings on it, and now we have a guitar. This is a sculpture. I have this here. This is made from a 100-year-old beam. It's a piece of southern yellow pine and some very old nails. These nails are about 150 years old. In the old days, they made nails square because they were cut from a sheet of metal.
Right.
So they're called square cut nails. And this sculpture is called a cappella because I think it looks like it's yodeling.
Well, there you have it, everybody. Wesley Reddick, repurposing old discarded wood and metal into works of art and objects that you can use today, like the cabinet and the mirror. Before I started my rounds today, Pinky Lonahan came by and he wanted to talk to me and spend some time with me, but I had to do my rounds. So he was nice enough to make me a peanut butter sandwich. And a little trick I learned from Alphabet Chef Royce. Here we go. I love peanut butter sandwiches. Milk. Water. You got milk and water?
I might have some.
Here. We'll see you next time on the Children's Corner. You want a...
Yeah, no, I'm good.